Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It is 12 noon in Honolulu, 6 o'clock in New York on Friday. Happy Aloha Friday as we say on the islands. It is the 4th day of April, 2025, and this is the Daily Report for Gold and Silver, our weekend review. Financial markets worldwide experienced a second consecutive day of significant declines following President Trump's announcement of a revised tariff strategy on Wednesday. In the last 2 days, the Standard & Poor's 500 has suffered a record 2-day decline, with companies losing over $4 trillion in their market cap. Nothing was immune to the sell-off affecting global equities, commodities, as well as the precious metals, raising concerns about global economic stability. Gold futures has lost approximately $130 over the last 2 trading days, with a $52 decline yesterday and an $82 decline today. Silver experienced an even steeper price decline, plummeting more than 15% over the last 2 trading days, taking the most active May contract to $29.54.5. As we spoke about over the last 2 days since Trump announced his revised tariff strategy, the financial markets worldwide have experienced a dynamic meltdown, including the safe haven asset gold. Over the last 2 trading days, gold has declined in excess of 38.2% from the rally which began at $28.75 at the end of February up to the all-time record high that occurred on Wednesday. Gold also closed below the 20-day exponential moving average. Should gold continue to drop on a technical basis, we wouldn't find any real support until $3,000, which coincides with a Fibonacci correction of 61.8%, as well as the recent top that occurred on the 21st of February when gold hit $3,000 and then corrected to $2,875. That being said, the decline in gold was in unison with a global meltdown of the financial markets as a whole. As a safe haven asset, at some point, gold will return to a bullish demeanor, especially if we see global equities and other asset classes continue to decline at the beginning of next week, because the more investors are concerned with the repercussions of Trump's action, the more they will need to find a safe haven asset to protect their portfolios, and gold is the most logical choice.
While gold did have a very sharp and steep correction over this last 2 days, it is silver's industrial component that caused it to sell off in a much more dramatic fashion, as well as illustrating the perceived impact of these tariffs on the economy globally. I have up on the screen the gold-silver ratio, which, as you can see, had a dramatic increase of almost 14%, showing us that while gold did decline sharply, it was silver that was far greater affected. The only time in history when the gold-silver ratio was higher than it is today was right at the start of the pandemic outbreak of 2020. Switching over to a weekly candlestick chart, we can see that this recent decline that really occurred over the last 2 days far exceeds any of the weekly declines witnessed in March of 2020. We have to go back all the way to 2011 to find a week that had as much bloodshed in silver as we saw over these last 2 days. We have broken through all of our recent technical support zones, and year to date, silver is now in negative territory. Technical support may come in at the 100-week moving average, and that moving average did serve as a technical support area during silver's greatest decline in history. To give us a better idea of where technical support may come into silver, we simply have drawn a Fibonacci retracement starting in October of 2023 to the recent highs above $35. It has come off the lows of today and is attempting to hold this area. If this 50% retracement does not hold as support, the next logical area for support would come in at around $28, represented by the 61.8% retracement, as well as some historical tops and bottoms. But silver's only chance of returning to an upside trajectory lies in either would come only if traders start to realize that they maybe have overreacted to the news, or if some deals can be made between countries to lessen the tariffs that have been enacted by President Trump. Our only hope for silver to return to a rally mode is if traders overreacted to the tariffs, or if the countries involved work it out and reverse these tariffs, which is a long shot at this point. The fact alone that in the past week, silver has declined sharper than it had on the onset of COVID-19, which we all know had a great slowdown effect on the worldwide economies and trade. Traders seem to believe that this will have an even greater impact than COVID-19.
This has been Gary Wagner,
And Joseph Wagner,
wishing you as always good trading.
we'll talk to you on Monday for our next video report.
Bye-bye.